What we look at to see where we're at with COVID is we look at our rates per day. The CDC actually counts it per 7 days, but I do it per day because I think it's easier to understand and remember. And then we look at our percent positivity for tests. So here in Forsyth County, we're at 4.7. Have been under 5 now for about a week. Here in Winston-Salem, we've set some metrics to be roughly at around 10 cases per 100,000 per day, and to have 2 weeks of percent positivity less than 5%. I think we'll probably hit that the last week of next week. It's next week now, the week before Thanksgiving, probably towards the end of it. So when we hit that, I think the citywide mask mandate will be rescinded. Guilford County might be a little bit further behind that, just because their numbers aren't coming down quite as fast. What does that mean? Well, it means you don't have to wear a mask to go inside by Winston-Salem's proclamation and law, I guess it would be. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't. So particularly when going into places where there's a lot of people, where it's crowded, or if you're immunocompromised or have a lot of underlying health conditions, continue to wear your mask. I think for schools it probably makes sense to stay masked until the end of the year, and then we'll figure out what to do with the spring semester over the holidays. Why do that? Well, one reason is that we've got influenza, good old flu around now, and we're getting reports of both influenza A and also influenza B, particularly B in kids. And we have a pretty good-sized outbreak right now at Wake Forest University, influenza. It's kind of interesting. There's several college campuses across the East Coast that are having trouble with flu right now. Florida State was, I think, in the news because their football team got affected by it. I hate to say it, but I think I predicted that flu would be back this year, as well as our other respiratory viruses. And, masks protect against those too. So influenza can be just as disruptive to a school or a workplace or as a hospital as COVID, really. Not quite as dangerous. Mortality and morbidity is not quite as high. But it certainly can be disruptive. So I think it would be a great idea for the schools just to stick with it until the Christmas holiday, and then we can sort out how the season's going to look. And if it's looking good, then we come back on masked in the spring.